Well, meanwhile, new housing analysis from Realtor.com finding millennials are now the largest group of home buyers. Reaction now from National Association of Home Builders CEO Jerry Howard. Jason Meister and Mary O'Grady are still on set with me. So, Jerry, have you seen a boom in millennials buying houses?
Yeah, we actually have seen millennials coming into the market. Since the end of the recession, millennial home ownership has risen by about 4%, which is a very significant jump. It's been encouraging.
But it's always a mistake to compare yourself, I know. But when I bought my first property, it was a $48,000 apartment in New York. That tells you how long it was. It was 1989. I couldn't get a bank loan. I had to get a $10,000 loan from family members. With that, I was barely able to buy into it. I'm glad I did. I still have it. But the point is that how are millennials getting loans? Because nowadays, they're talking about a $400,000 house, right?
Well, you're talking about an issue that's facing the country in a big way, not only because of the demand by the millennials, but the impact of the Dodd-Frank legislation in the last Congress is really making it much more difficult. But once they do get the credit, millennials are proving to be as worthy of that credit as any other segment of the population. So they have a tough hurdle to go to get through at first, but once they get in there, they're doing a good job.
That's a very encouraging sign. You know, we hear a lot of disparaging remarks about millennials talking about how they don't own up to their debts, et cetera. But according to what we're finding out now about housing bills, that's not true, right?
No, they're doing a great job at it, and
Good.
I think the Tax Reform Act is going to help bring down a lot of their tax burdens. It's going to help them pay off their student loans faster, and it'll bring millennials into the marketplace.
Well, that's an incredible point, Jason, is the fact that it's not only that it's difficult to get a loan if you're a millennial or a young person, but they also already are dealing with student debt. And that's a huge overhang in their lives.
That's a huge burden on them. But I also want to make another point about millennials and the tax bill with regards to home ownership. They've just risen to about 40% of existing home sales, which is the historical average. But what I think is going to be a problem is in the blue states, millennials in the major cities, with the deductibles and the deductions, that's going to be a problem for them. So I think you're going to see them sort of pull back in the blue states, in the major cities, and they're going to be more in the rental market.
Mary, do you have any concerns at all about the fact that we may be getting into another housing bubble, that maybe people are building up too much debt in order to buy into the housing market?
Well, I think for sure the commitment that people said you had to have 20% down going forward, that's winding down. I mean, you have lots of examples of companies in fintech that are lending, allowing people to take mortgages with a much smaller down payment. But I think the other thing that's really interesting here is that there seems to be kind of a surprise that millennials are getting into the housing market. Millennials are now the largest generational group. They are larger than the baby boomers because baby boomers are dying off, and they are maturing. The oldest millennials are now 32 years old, so I think it's very normal that they're getting married, they're having children, they want to own houses, and I think what you're seeing here is that they finally are feeling the confidence in the economy to make these commitments. Remember when Paul Ryan was running as vice president to Mitt Romney, he made that joke about, you know, are you going to be sitting on your parents' couch in the basement looking at an Obama poster and living with your parents for the rest of your life? And that's basically what a lot of millennials had to do when the economy was growing less than 2% a year. Now that it's growing faster, I think they're feeling more confident. They feel like they can go out there and take on these adult responsibilities.
Jerry, does that jibe with your experience?
It sure does. And not only that, it'll be comforting to guys like you and I, David. The millennials track almost identically with previous generations. 75% of them want to own a single-family detached house. They're concerned about schools. They're concerned about parks. Yeah. They're concerned about energy efficiency. As they mature, they become exactly what their parents were, even though that might scare some of them.
It might scare some of them, but it is an encouraging sign. Some things are great to know that they continue on generation after generation.
One point that
very quickly, Jerry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, is that this is the first time in our country's history that there's not a middle-class homeownership tax incentive. And although we supported the tax bill, that's something we're going to watch very closely and see if the millennials still come into the market as readily as they have been the last few months.
It's going to be an interesting experiment, no doubt. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much, Jerry. Good to see you.